Hi friends, and welcome back to another video. It's Lumpy and Lori here to entertain you. Hi handsome. I have a new pen video for you. In my last video, I shared my entire collection with you, and I was talking about a couple pens that were on my radar. I actually got two of those pens, but today I'm talking about the Montegrappa Elmo. This was the weekly dip at Goldspot Pens, which I think is just like a weekly special. It is no longer technically the weekly dip, but it is still 50% off the MSRP. I got the medium nib. It sold out in the medium nib, but all other nib sizes are available, which I thought was awesome. I just checked right now. It's October 16th. This is my first Montegrappa pen. I'm excited to share it with you. The very first time I saw this pen and tried it was at the Fountain Pen Hospital in New York City. And I absolutely loved it then, but it was just too pricey for me for a steel nib. So when I saw this go on special, I jumped on it. Not only was it the weekly dip on Goldspot Pens, but I also found a coupon code from Pen Boy Roy's podcast, where he talks with Tom Otto from Goldspot Pens. They always give a 10% off code if you listen to the podcast. So I also applied that, and it was good even on the weekly dip. So I got a great deal on this pen. I'm excited to share it with you. If you are enthusiastic about fountain pens, inks, stationery, and all that fun stuff, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an upload. Now let's go to the overhead camera and check out this new pen. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hello everybody. I have a quick unboxing to do today. I was working on a video for my other channel and the mail came and I wanted to open it with you. This is from Goldspot Pens. I made a little purchase and I talked about it in my pen collection video, but first I'm going to show you some of the things I got besides the pen. This is a color swatch book that is made by Wearing Gold. I almost cut the little cards, but I have the Colorverse cards. Sorry, this is going to be loud. Okay, that's better. This is such a cute little book. I have these Colorverse cards that I use, and I also use a notebook for pen swatching, but I thought this would be cute when I'm in a hurry, just to do a quick swatch. This is my big ink journal, where this is more where I talk about pen and ink combinations, and I say a little bit about each one. So this has been really fun. And then, of course, I have these, which I always feel like the ink samples look a little different on here than they look on the Tomoe River paper. So I think it's kind of nice to see ink on different materials. So this is a color swatch book. It has 9 ink bottles per page. It's actually pretty smooth. I would say that it feels a little bit like Rhodia paper, but definitely thicker. And maybe not quite as like smooth or slippery, but it's not textured. Like I feel like this is more textured. These cards absorb a lot of ink. So I will be curious to see how things look on here, but I thought this was really cute. So they also sold cards like this. I thought it'd be really nice to just have it as a quick reference in a notebook. This is when I first started even thinking about swatching inks. This is a Clairefontaine notebook. And I think I started this when I got my Inkvent calendar last year. And I just kind of went by color families. And it's okay, but I don't love the way that this looks, but it's a good resource, and it's one other type of paper to test things out on. So for that reason, I like it. But when I got so many inks in the Inkvent calendar, I just kind of wanted to swatch everything. So this was like the first time I swatched anything. And then I started to play around where I would write more notes. But I kind of like the system that I have in this notebook, which is just a notebook from Sterling Ink. This was on her seconds. It's the size of the weeks, but it's just a notebook. And I got it, you know, sometime either early this year or late last year. And I really enjoy using this for my ink swatches. And then this is my weeks over here, which I use as a gratitude journal. So I'm getting ready to do my planner lineup in an upcoming video. Then I got this little ink miser. I had my first ink mess last week. I dropped a sample bottle of Colorverse Brunch Date all over my son's carpet. I mean, this carpet is pretty old and in need of replacing anyways, but I thought I got it all up, and then like 3 hours later, the ink appeared, like it sank into the bottom and it made a mess. So this is a way to get ink right down to the very end. And I always use a syringe, and this is just kind of like a quicker way. So this was like $6 or $7. You get a black one or a clear one. I got the clear so I could actually see what's in there. So hopefully I'll be able to make the most of my little ink samples. But this is the exciting part. This is a Montegrappa Elmo 2 that I got at Goldspot. It was what they call their weekly dip, where they have a discount on one product. So I looked at this pen when I went to New York City. This is more low-key as far as Montegrappas go, I would say. I'm not into the super ornate stuff, and they're also usually pretty expensive too. So I really like this Elmo, and this is the sea glass green. Okay, so this is the Montegrappa Elmo 2 fountain pen in Coversea Green in a medium. And then I have 2 color inks that we're going to test with it. We'll see which one I end up using. I like the box. So far, so good. Are they always green, or is it just green because that's the color of my pen? I've never owned a Montegrappa pen before. I'm really excited for this. Oh, it's a pretty box. I like it. Didn't even know my little plant thing was going to be vibing with today's video. Let's see. There she is. Oh, she's beautiful. These are like some little ink cartridges here. And I really like this box. This is one of the prettiest boxes ever. I love that it's substantial without being totally over the top. There's really something to it. It's very pretty. But here it is. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love the detail on this pen. It almost looks like wood, like a wood grain on the side. And there are all these variations in the color. It's just so beautiful. This pen did go on sale in, I don't know if it's called Glory. It was red, white, and blue. And then there's another one called Nirvana, which has more earth tones, which I like, more like olivey and brown. But there was just something about this pen that I really liked. Sorry, we're competing with the sun a little bit right now. But let me come in so you can see some of the detail. It's like silver trim. It kind of reminds me of a Leonardo Momento Zero Grande, the shape, because it has that little point at the top and the bottom. And here we go. I love the Montegrappa nib. I don't know if oh, that's a good view of it. I love the little scroll work. Almost looks like a honeycomb. And it is a cartridge fill. Cartridge converter. And it does come with a converter. Nothing, it's in there nice and secure. I like that. Oh, you gotta kind of screw it off, which is nice. I like that. I always feel a little bit safer when they screw on and off. I feel like you could go in a lot of directions with this pen, which is something I appreciate about it. Like I could go with Sailor Magno Koke and pick up on that little bit of turquoise that's in this pen. I think that would be beautiful. I could also go in a direction like this. I can't do this because I only have cartridges of this. But even like that little bit of olive could pick up. And I could do this Faber-Castell olive green color. I think that's part of the appeal with this pen, is it was colorful without being kind of in your face. Oh, this looks really nice. This is a color that I got while I was in Japan. Ooh, that might be it. That is really pretty. So this has not been featured yet on my channel, but this is a 3-pack of ink that I bought while I was in Japan at a store called Maruzan. Okay, so these are the colors. I like that these are small because so often I buy these ginormous bottles of ink. This is a limited edition. I thought this was so cute and it was quite affordable. Oh, another color to consider, I'm not going to do it, but Diamine Ink Vent Pick Me Up is one of my favorites. Kind of a sleeper color. I wasn't really into it until recently, but see how it has all green undertones? That could work in here too. I do favor a lot of like golden brown colors, so I like that that's an option here. It's kind of like that honey brown that goes through. But this is what's speaking to me right now, and I don't have a lot of this like turquoisey blue in my lineup right now because I have a lot of fall colors. So let's ink this up. right, that converter did a good job of getting ink up. All right, well, we're gonna get some really strong sun here. You can post this. It actually feels pretty good posted. Wow, this is nice. And this is in Coversea Green. This is beautiful. And it's a medium nib. This is a really broad nib. I feel like this writes more like a broad, but it's beautiful. Look at that color. It's a nice wet writer. You can see how wet of a writer this is. It's gorgeous. Maybe we can make that a little prettier. Montegrappa Elmo. I would say this writes a lot more like a broad nib than a medium. I don't mind that, but in case you're interested in getting this, I feel like it's a broad writer. Wow. Really pretty. Has no trouble keeping up with the feed. Really smooth writer. I love this pen. Oh, and I think this color looks so nice with it too. What do you all think? The clip is nice. Just see how this clip works. You know how I judge all of my clips? As long as I can lift it to go into a pen case, we're good. This one's a little tight, but that's all right. Not bad at all. There we go. It's snug in there. I'm really pleased with it. And see right here, it says Montegrappa right there. This is a really beautiful pen. Let's do a size comparison. So since I mentioned a Momento Zero Grande, I will put it right next to it. It's definitely smaller, but you can see the shape is similar, I would say. So this is a Momento Zero, and that is much more similar in shape. It's much smaller than like my Scribo. This is a Esterbrook Esty. I just want to make sure. This is a ProGear Slim, much smaller. Lamy 2000. Similar in height, but yeah, so there we go. Okay, now the light is really bad, but this is what we're working with uncapped. So I think it is very similar to the Momento Zero, except this section is smaller. I would say that the section is more in line with, say, the Esty. They look very similar, which is no surprise that I like the size of this because I love my Esties. But yeah, I believe this is a Jowo number 6 nib. I forgot to look under here. I was so excited to get to the pen. You also get this instruction booklet with all the warranty information.